Hey guys, Brooke here, and I have a SNAP update. Here we go again. The Trump administration now on yesterday, threatened to cut benefits for SNAP in 21 states that are currently being run by the Democratic Party, the blue states. They're claiming that the federal government has not complied with necessary directive to issue data on all the recipients that are receiving SNAP. This is not protocol. This is not something that any other administration has ever done. But Brooke Rollins, the Secretary of the USDA, said on Monday that during her cabinet meeting that the department is going to stop as of Monday this coming week, and has already started stopping to send federal funding for SNAP benefits to at least 21 states that are blue states. Among the states that could lose funding from the local government is New York, Minnesota. Now, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if this is going to actually take place. So far they're saying that only 29 red states have complied with the directive and that 21 blue states have not. These 21 states that are claiming are going to be penalized, and these recipients will lose all of their SNAP and not be receiving the SNAP funding for the upcoming unknown amount of time until they actually follow protocol. Now you have to understand, this is a tactic by the administration that is not usual protocol. This is not something that New York or the blue states are doing wrong by their residents. This is something that I don't think has a positive to it. I think that the asking of this information is not going to be for anything positive. It's going to be used for immigration stuff, getting people pulled by ICE. I think there's a lot more to it than just looking for fraud, as Brooke Rollins is claiming. I'm going to keep an eye on it, but I just want to let you guys know that be mindful that if you are in a blue state, one of those 21 states, that at this point in time, the government is threatening to pull all funding for the SNAP program.
Let's go! What did I tell you? I told you it was coming. And now they're already in full panic mode. I don't think it's right that we have to send our SNAP benefits data to Trump. Why are you panicking if there's nothing to hide? I think that just makes sense. In fact, why haven't we always been doing this? Why is this something that is just happening now? Why have we gone for decades with states not sending in their data when it comes to food stamps? It's because there's a lot of fraud. There's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of people who are not American citizens, who have no business being in this country, that need to take their ass back to where they came from, that are sitting here in our country collecting thousands of dollars a month. And the blue states, and it's not just the blue states, but mainly the blue states are trying to hide it. It's the blue states that are refusing to send in their data. The red states sent in their data, and yeah, there was actually a lot of fraud and corruption found there as well. But the blue states are absolutely refusing. So, they're not going to get their SNAP benefits. They're not going to get their food stamps money. I hope they enjoyed Thanksgiving. They might want to freeze their leftovers. All of those people who once they got their food stamps back, once the government shutdown ended, and they all filmed their videos rubbing it in your face that they got thousands of dollars to buy food as hardworking Americans were struggling, all of those people are going to be right back at square one again. At least people living within those 21 states, they're going to be right back at square one again, threatening to kill, murder, and loot over groceries. They were just rubbing it in your face, filming TikTok videos of their EBT hauls. Literally singing rap songs, twerking in front of their refrigerator, walking out of the grocery store with 3 carts filled with food, without a dent put in their EBT funds yet. But now those same people, a lot of them are about to lose their benefits again if the states don't comply. If the states don't comply. Now, is this a big bluff? Are they trying to force the states to comply by threatening that they're not going to send them their SNAP benefit funds? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I'm telling you, things are going to get interesting. The EBT wars, they're not over. I mean, apparently, they are not over. And right now I'm wondering, are we going to witness a food stamps civil war of sorts? Because if you haven't watched my last video, you maybe should. You know, there's an underground food stamps economy. A lot of people who get their food stamps, they don't spend a single dollar of their food stamps on food. They sell it for other things. Now, due to supply and demand, due to the fear that people are losing food stamps, people are selling their food stamps at a higher price. Instead of $50 for $100 of stamps, now they want $75. So now there's a big beef going on because there's a lot of people who are not on food stamps who still depend on food stamps. Because unlike you and me, or unlike most of us, they don't go to the grocery store with their own money and buy food. They go to someone with food stamps and buy a certain amount of food stamps from them for a discounted price. So when they go to the grocery store, they're not used to paying full price for their groceries. They're used to paying maybe half price. Now, a lot of people don't want to sell their food stamps or they're charging more. So now there's a rift. People who have been buying food stamps from other people for years are now getting in these feuds because they're going up on the prices or being stingy with the food stamps, and they're arguing with each other on social media. They're posting videos raging out about it. So it's getting interesting. And to think that we're going to have half the country with food stamps and possibly half the country without. Like, just imagine that. Imagine being on like the border of one state that has food stamps and one that doesn't. Are we going to see EBT skirmishes? Are they going to go across state lines to fight the people who have food stamps? Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just joking there. But I do think that, like we've seen for the last couple of weeks, or longer than that now, the EBT wars have been going on for a while. I mean, time's kind of flying by. But I do think that we have the potential to see some things kind of, once again, boil over. In fact, this could be worse than the couple of weeks that we went with no food stamps, previously. So I'm not sure how things are going to go. But even if you're in one of the states where you're still going to get your stamps in, there's still new rules that are applying to people in many states. Now some people can't buy junk food. Some people can't buy sodas. There's just a lot of new rules depending on where you live, and there's so many complaints about it. In fact, I want to show you someone talking about it right here really quickly.
6 more states have had waivers approved to ban junk food from being bought with EBT. Let's talk about it. If you're new here, my name is Crystal. I'm a social worker and a caseworker. I have been working in the social service field for over 10 years. I also worked at the SNAP EBT welfare office for over 6 years. I have processed hundreds of SNAP cases, and here's an update on the state's push to ban junk food from being bought with EBT. So as of August of 2025, there are now 12 states instead of 6 that have approved waivers for banning the purchase of junk food with EBT. Those states are Arkansas, Colorado, Florida, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, Utah, and West Virginia. So because each state had to submit their waiver to the USDA separately, each one of the bans are slightly different. This chart is available at USDA.gov, but I am going to read some of the states along with the stuff that they are banning just so you guys can be up to date. So the Arkansas ban is set to take effect on July 1st, 2026, and they are restricting the purchase of soda, fruit and vegetable drinks with less than 50% natural juice, unhealthy drinks, and candy. The state of Colorado, their ban will take effect on March 1st, 2026, and they are only restricting soft drinks. The ban in the state of Texas will take effect April 1st, 2026, and they are restricting the purchase of sweetened drinks and candy. The ban for the state of Louisiana will take effect on January 15th, 2026, and they are restricting soft drinks, energy drinks, and candy. So as you can see, the ban in each state is slightly different because the state gets to decide what they want to ban from the program. And all other states on the list, Florida, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Utah, and West Virginia, will go into effect on January 1st, 2026. So as of now, there are only 12 states, but I absolutely believe that more states will follow suit and submit waivers to the USDA to do the same thing. So of course, I'll keep you guys updated as more waivers roll in and get approved by the USDA. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I hope this helped.
Let me tell you this. As a fat guy, these EBT grocery carts that you see in the grocery store, when you see someone rolling by with one of those EBT carts, they always put my cart to shame. And I'm not saying that just because of the abundance of items they have and stuff like that. When you see an EBT cart, it would make my grocery cart look healthy. Okay? And as a fat person, I think it makes sense that, hey, if you want to go buy some sugary snacks that aren't good for you, you should earn the money to do so. Any treats or goodies that I want, I pay for with my own money. And also, I feel like there's a different kind of fat these days. There's multiple kinds of fats out there, okay? I'm going to give you some background on being fat. I'm what you call country fat, okay? I got big from eating too much of grandma's country home cooking. These people are getting fat from eating nothing but zebra cakes and drinking nothing but Kool-Aid jammers. So there's a difference there. And I think it just makes common sense that you shouldn't be given free money to go buy a bunch of unhealthy food for your kids. Like, the government shouldn't be giving you free money to go buy sugary freaking candy and stuff. It's common sense. And that's how I feel like we have to, move going forward. Either we abolish and just totally get rid of some of these programs, or we start applying common sense. No woman, no EBT queen should be getting thousands of dollars a month for them to go spend on Rice Krispie treats and chocolate bars. Now, if someone's in a bad position and they need a little money to go buy a few fruits and vegetables and some meat, maybe to cook a healthy meal for their family, I think people would have less of a problem. So going forward, like I said, either abolish some of these programs, or you have to take a common sense approach moving forward. And even with taking a common sense approach, a lot of these people still need to be kicked off of food stamps regardless. And I'll tell you this right now. If these rules are implemented everywhere, and these people who run around with their EBT cards, right? A lot of these people, they're not going to be out here committing fraud. They're not going to be out here lying on their applications to get food stamps if they know they can't go buy soda and ice cream and stuff. So you're going to have a lot of people that simply aren't even going to sign up anymore because, getting free steaks and free broccoli isn't good enough for them. Even though I think that would be awesome, but it's not good enough for them. They want, whatever junk food you could think of. But a lot of interesting things are happening right now within the EBT wars kind of topic. I'm going to keep my eye on stuff for right now. You keep your eye down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I'll talk to you all soon in the next video.